Sir, I was not aware that I couldn't text in your theater, all right? I've texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing on my fucking phone, all right? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys, obviously, were being assholes to me, and I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually...
All right, that was weird. My computer actually went into a restart on its own. And I don't know why it went into a restart. It's kind of weird. But we're back here. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. So if you all come back to me, let me just unpin this one. Unpin that post. And pin that post. There we go. And I'm back. And I'm back. Back in here. That's production on the fly. Production on the fly. So I was getting ready to get into Bill Belichick. And, you know, I was closing out with Nick Saban, and, you know, I talked about the issues with why Belichick isn't here at this time. Why they've decided to part ways. There's a lot of pieces, I want to say, that goes into why this is the way it is, why this went down the way it is. It's a lot of things. Some of the things that people putting out there are unjust, unfair. Guy brought us 6 Super Bowl championships, and you know, I hear people saying, well, he wasn't the dynasty. Tom Brady was the dynasty. Tom Brady left here and he got his ring. Stop it. Stop it. First of all, if you watch this show, you know, and when the rumors about Tom Brady was leaving, one of the things we talked about in this show was that Tom Brady left here for his brand, to improve on his brand. He's chasing Jordan as far as a brand goes. Brady had to win a championship in the end. He had to do something that no other quarterback had really ever done, and that was to leave a conference, go to another conference, and win a Super Bowl title. That's what Tom Brady had to leave here to do. Now, a lot of people say he left over. He didn't leave over money. And there were some things I talked about in this show that proved that the writing was already on the wall. When Tom Brady left for Tampa Bay, Tom Brady had already patented, he already got the copyrights to Tampa Bay and all these things that he did while he was down there. All that was done, and you can't get that done quickly. When you trademark stuff, it takes a while. It takes a while before this gets done. So the fact that he had already had Tampa Bay and all this stuff trademarked before he arrived weeks in Tampa Bay lets me know that he had already had his mind made up. It had nothing to do with money. So when people say that was the reason why he left and this is the reason, stop it. Stop it. Tom Brady left for business reasons. The first thing the man did when he got in Tampa Bay was he went social media crazy because you weren't allowed to do that type of stuff up here. Gronkowski, everybody complains about that was the Patriot way. And I'm going to get into that too. Because part of that is one of the reasons why Bill is not here anymore. The culture is changing and it's forcing guys, and you heard it on sports radio, and it's just so much I got to talk about why Belichick isn't here. What's going on, Felicia? Billy Atwood, thanks for coming back. Kevin Tachi, what's going on? And one of the things that you talk about with Bill Belichick is, let's talk about why some of this is on him, why he's not here. Let's talk about the Mac Jones debacle. Mac Jones was drafted, and to be honest, that entire quarterback draft class is horrible. Horrible. The whole draft class is pretty much horrible, with the exception of Trevor Lawrence, who's in the playoffs. But when you match up Mac Jones and Trevor Lawrence, their numbers are pretty much exactly the same. Now, here's the deal. Here's what Belichick did piss me off. Belichick played this cute little game where they drafted Mac Jones. He got the word about Mac Jones from Nick Saban in Alabama. Everybody keeps saying that he didn't want Mac Jones. Mac Jones was for. No, he didn't. Mac Jones came here because of Bill Belichick's relationship with Nick Saban. The problem here is that Bill O'Brien was supposed to be here. That's how that was supposed to work out. Bill O'Brien was supposed to be here and be the offensive coordinator to help get Mac Jones ready in his rookie year. That didn't happen. Nick Saban, for some reason, wanted to keep Bill O'Brien for one season. And why I bring this up is because that first season, when Mac Jones was to take the helm, the big focus at training camp was who the offensive coordinator is. Now, all of these beat writers and all these people who attend all the press conferences, they ask the questions because they have an inside track. They have an inside person. They know. Right out the gate at training camp, the first question, who's the offensive coordinator? And Bill Belichick refused to answer, and he looked aggravated. And I said to myself, I'm like, why is he aggravated? What's up? And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I bet you Bill O'Brien was supposed to come, but Saban made him stay that one extra season. Because Saban was trying to get that other title for that year. Now look how this all plays out, people. Pay attention to how I'm breaking this down for you. Now, listen. So Belichick plays this cute little game with everybody. Says, I'm not naming an offensive coordinator this season. I'm just going to go with whoever. And he had this whole thing with Matt Patricia. That was an absolute failure. Absolute failure with him. It was horrible. A horrible season. And in my eyes, it ruined Mac Jones. You had Mac Jones here with Josh McDaniels the year prior, and he tore it up. That year prior. So now Matt Patricia's gone. Belichick has to answer for that. Now he gets Bill O'Brien after Saban lets him go and comes here. And you're now 3 years into a rookie contract. Because most rookie contracts are 5 years. And the problem here is that you didn't let Mac Jones develop. I didn't like the fact that, you played this game about the offensive coordinator. That falls solely on Bill Belichick. And you lose Bill O'Brien, and Nick Saban doesn't reach a national championship in his first year without Bill O'Brien, which is crazy because Bill O'Brien sucked as an offensive coordinator for us. He sucked. His play calling was horrible. Horrible. It sucked, okay? That is another reason why we have this thing with Bill Belichick. But the thing with Bill Belichick is that he has 6 Super Bowls, 9 AFC championships, 17 divisional championships. You would think Bill Belichick would get some type of professional mulligan from the Kraft families. And here's the thing. I feel like the Kraft family and everybody gave in to all the pantsy-antsy, whiny, crybaby, brand New England Patriot fans who call sports radio, and sports radio all of a sudden has this hatred for for Belichick and the Patriots anyway, where you guys are crying and effing complaining about the last 3 years of football here in Massachusetts. Y'all are complaining like crybabies over the last. Let's break down the last true 3 years, because some of y'all sound real crazy about the last 3 years of football here. Now, first of all, that first of the bad 3 years was a COVID year. COVID came. COVID affected NFL for 2 years, but there was 1 year that COVID really messed up the league, and that was the year that Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. And let's really get into this. So everybody talks about, oh, well, that first year was horrible, blah, blah, blah. Tom Brady ended up going, okay, stop it. Stop. First of all, that COVID year, if that COVID year wasn't a COVID year, I can tell you right now, Tampa Bay would not have went to the championship, and Tom Brady would not have won a title if it wasn't for COVID. If y'all remember correctly, when Tom Brady left here and went to Tampa Bay didn't get their shit together until week 13. Week 13. After their bye. Week 10, week 11, week 8, week 9, everybody was talking about how picking up Tom Brady wasn't that good of an idea. Bruce Arians might be fired because they couldn't get on the same page. So all y'all forget about that. Y'all forget about the fact that Tampa Bay didn't even come to be a threat until after week 13, after the bye week. And then they went on a 3-game tear, which allowed them to get into the playoffs, finishing out at 11-5. Now, Tampa Bay had 11 wins that year. Do you know how many teams they beat that had a playoff record that year? I'm gonna wait for you guys in the chat. One team out of those 11 wins was a playoff caliber team. Every other team, all 10 other teams Tampa Bay played that year was garbage. So stop bringing up that year, okay? The second year, Cam Newton. Horrible season. That was also the COVID year. Horrible season. Okay? Tampa Bay got teams at the right place at the right time. Remember? Because teams were swapping bye weeks. Teams were playing 2 games during the week and going. Tampa Bay would have never won a championship that COVID season if it was a regular season. So stop it. Tom Brady would have never gotten another ring. So stop this. 1 ring makes Tom Brady a better person and the reason for the dynasty. No, it takes 2. Do I have to put Rob Bass on and play It Takes 2 right now for you guys? Because I could if I wanted to, but I'm just going to tell you all,
sit down.
Stop it. Y'all just keep going on and on about Tom Brady being this and Tom Brady being that because he's got 1 extra.
Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy
That's it. So now where do we go? Because there's no Belichick. I see Kevin Tachi in the chat. What's going on, Denise? What's going on, Elias? What's going on, Stephanie? What's going on, Dougie? What's going on, Viana? Everybody in the chat. What's going on, Paris? Josh McScreen passes, but yep, Josh McDaniels was there Saturday. Scott Pioli reached out to the team, and there was all types of rumors, but nope, it came down today. So let me get back into this. So Belichick is gone. And that was my reason of why. He's probably one of the things that led to him possibly being gone. But 6 Super Bowl look. There's another reason why Belichick isn't here. There's another reason. What's up, Dougie? Reason why Belichick isn't here no more, and we heard it this season. We heard the complaints for the last 2 years on sports radio. The Patriot way is no more. The Patriot way is no more. And I'm not just talking about what goes on in Foxborough. I'm talking about what's going on, and this is where I'm going to get deep on you all. Belichick is not here because of a changing culture in the NFL with coaching and society itself. And I want you all to hold on. I want you all to really hold on to what I'm about to tell you, why this is why Belichick is not here. This is why guys like Nick Saban isn't here. The culture is changing in the NFL. When Belichick was successful and Belichick was here, the issue here is that Belichick, do your job. Guys were punished for when they messed up. You fumbled the ball during the game, you sat. Those who did good got extra playing time. They got what they deserved. But here's the thing. Here's what's happening, people. Dougie says, let's move on with Bill. He's gone. It's more than just Bill, Doug. This is what it's really about. And I don't think people get it. Some of the biggest complaints about Bill Belichick in the last 2 years on sports radio around here was because he's stubborn. He doesn't give guys a break. He doesn't do this. Guy fumbles a ball during the game and he sits the whole game. Why is that? You're gonna ruin. You know why? You know why people don't like Belichick no more? And this is because the breed and era of the kids who came up in sports where everybody gets an effing participation trophy are now professionals in the NFL. This is what we are witnessing, people. This is what we are witnessing. And Dougie, you talked about it on your show about the military changing. Because we can no longer be hard on these professional players who make all this effing money. We have to coddle them. We have to give them their time. We have to allow this and allow this if they mess up. I heard it. I heard sports radio complaining because we had, you know, I gave him crap. Devontae Parker dropped the ball that he should have had. And he got benched. And everybody's like, well, why did he bench him? He should have let him play some more. No, that's Parcells' way. If you don't perform, you sit, you get benched. And that's the problem. Society today, all of these new players coming up through the ranks are all part of the whole participation trophy in sports where everybody gets a trophy. Nobody gets nothing for being the hottest worker no more. And it's like it's in all of sports. It's not just the NFL, it's in the NBA too. Like the NBA players now get a night off. In their contract, they get a night off. Imagine that. Jordan never took a night off. But this is where we are in sports right now. This is bigger than just Belichick going. This is sports changing before your eyes. Here's another great example. Look at all the successful coaches in the NFL and in college sports right now. What are they all doing and what are they all on? Mike McCarthy, down there in Miami. He's on the field during warm-ups, referencing rap music, dancing on the field. You got these coaches now, they're on TikTok, they're on Snapchat, they're doing all this stuff. Andy Reid's one of them. He's out here doing all these funny, crazy commercials. These guys are all on social media. Why? Because the NFL, which had at one time looked down upon their players and their coaches being on social media, have found out. Guess what they've all found out? They found out that social media presence can also bring your NFL team money. Money. Bill Belichick and the Patriot way, guess what? That's not bringing the team extra revenue. That's not bringing the team extra money. What was the first thing that Rob Gronkowski and Brady did once they left the confines of Foxborough? What was the one thing? They hit social media. It got so bad with Tom Brady on social media that people up here in Boston was like, damn, bro. Damn, why? Because it was bringing Tom Brady money. Bringing Tampa Bay money. Tyreek Hill did a backflip and an NFL employee used his phone to take a picture of that back. And guess what happened? It went viral. They fired the kid. Well, they suspended the kid. And they made a ton of money. It went viral. The NFL got filthy friggin' money over it. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, they start dating. Usually we don't hear none of that. We didn't hear nothing about that stuff. We didn't care about that stuff. But guess what? When they found out that Travis Kelce's jersey sold so many that it was a 400% profit for Kansas City and the organization, they realized we need to get Taylor Swift on every effing time she's at a game. Ratings went up. Sales went up. TikTok, Snapchat, all that stuff. All that stuff. Money. Money. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. Yes, thank you, Kevin Tachi. Mike McDaniel. Thank you, Mike McDaniels. All these player coaches are now the guys. These are the guys. These so-called player coaches are now the guys. The day of a strict, disciplined coach is done in the NFL for right now. For right now, that era is done. The days of a hardcore, disciplined coach is done. You're not bringing me money. You're not bringing anything in for me. We need a coach that's gonna be out there and be in the forefront and bring us money. Watch. You don't think so? Watch. Watch the next coach that the Patriots hire. Watch. You tell me. You tell me. It's going to be somebody who's kind of outgoing. It's going to be somebody who isn't so disciplined. And remember, here's the crazy thing about this. The whole reason why the Patriots had got rid of Pete Carroll back then, why? Because he was a player's coach. We need discipline here. We need a tough coach here. That's why they brought in Belichick. Remember that? Remember? That was the whole reason why they got rid of Pete Carroll. He was a player's coach. And now here we are. Full circle. Players' coaches are in. Disciplined coaches are out. Belichick leaving isn't just him in a relationship with the Patriots. It's the league changing. It's the league evolving to another level. And one of the things that bothers me is that I gotta put on my tinfoil hat. I gotta put on my tinfoil hat with this whole thing. Because I feel like the league is also playing us. I feel like the league is playing us. And I'm going to break it down to you. Why I feel like the league is playing us for money and betting. Years ago, when I was growing up, UNLV, point shaving. It's a big deal. It's a big effing deal. It was such a big deal. The UNLV scandal was such a big deal that no team wanted to mess with Vegas. Not one team. If you even talked about trying to put a team or bringing a team to Vegas, nope. Now we have online gambling in our phones. And we're not just betting winners and losers. We're betting silly prop bets, all these crazy things, right? And guess what? We have a team in Vegas representing Major League Baseball, coming soon the NBA, the NFL. We have it all. We have all of these teams now in a place that sports was not supposed to be. Vegas. Not only do we have teams in Vegas and betting is at an all-time high, but ESPN purchased and is now one of the biggest sports betting sites out there. Why does no one cry foul that your biggest sports broadcaster is now also the biggest or second biggest betting online gambling website? To the point now where you watch games on TV and they're talking about the over and unders and the spreads and this and that like they've never talked before. Because it's all about money. It's all about what can be brought in. It's all about the money. And Kevin Tachi says, in Kraft's eyes, Bill was a football genius. He still is a football genius, but the league is changing. One of the complaints was he couldn't relate to players. I'm pretty sure he can't relate to players. I'm pretty sure because Bill Belichick came up at a time where players of my age who played for him, when they're older, you worked hard, you got praised. The players that are coming up now, they're not focused, they're not doing all the stuff they need to be. You got players, it's a totally different thing. Players aren't hungry. Players are getting money. Look at Deion Sanders out there in Colorado. The whole reason why Deion Sanders built this whole thing was because Deion Sanders is a flashy guy. Look, Deion Sanders is that same prime time that the NFL tried to keep quiet. Remember when Deion was out there and doing all the crazy stuff and nobody liked him in the NFL, but he put them numbers up. He shut you up. The issue here is that he got down to where he got to, and now he's where he's at, and he's utilizing social media and all of these things. Colorado's recruitment this year is out of control. Out of control. Two of the best linemen in the country are going to Colorado this year. He's got Warren Sapp coming in as a head coach, as a coach, offensive line coach. It's about money. It's about social media. It's about all that crap. It's about all that crap. Belichick's time has come and gone as the type of coach. It's like Drew Bledsoe. When everybody was here beating up Drew Bledsoe, and I used to tell people, Drew Bledsoe was a good quarterback. The problem with Drew Bledsoe was that the league changed. The league changed. The day of the pocket passer had come to an end. That era of pocket passers had come to an end for Drew Bledsoe. And I'm going to just tell you why. Because Drew Bledsoe peaked at a time where the Cordell Stewarts and the mobile quarterbacks hit the scene. And mobile quarterbacks were tearing up the league. They were tearing up the league, mobile quarterbacks. And you know what happened? The league said, you know what? We can't keep letting these quarterbacks run all over us. We can't let these quarterbacks keep getting the outside. So what happened? Teams got away from fat, slow linebackers. Because at one time, your defensive line and linebackers were all pretty much the same size in the NFL. They were all pretty much the same size. But when the mobile quarterbacks hit, Cordell Stewart and all these guys hit, teams were getting killed. Those 300 and something pound linebackers, they couldn't chase a Cordell Stewart down running to the outside. No. So you know what happened? The league started getting linebackers that were streamlined. Linebackers at 250, 240, 270. Guys that could run low fours, mid fours. Why? So they could chase down those Cordell Stewarts. That's why the Cordell Stewart eras, it lasted as long as it did. Because eventually, the league evolved. And linebackers all across the league, they all got streamlined. They all became those guys, those type of guys. And this is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing this right now, the end of a coaching culture. guys like Belichick, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with this culture and where we're headed. It doesn't work. The league is changing. And it's sad. Because the Patriots way was something that was adopted by companies around the world. Companies around the world adopted that Patriot way and became successful. There were businesses that became successful utilizing that Patriot way. But as I said, you've got these players now that are in the league. They don't know about hard work, and like I said, we heard it on sports radio. Everybody was complaining about Bill being too hard on players. 98.5, the morning team, they were talking about, well, when do you think, how long does it take for a guy to sit out and learn his lesson? He should go back in. Stop it. But I'm going to put on my hat because I also feel that the league itself is changing. The league is changing. I think it's all about the money. I'm not happy with the referees this season, last season, the season before. I feel like a lot of games are being banked on how the money flows and how the ratings are going to go. When you look at the playoffs that are coming up this weekend, you look at the storylines, it's almost really, truly like the NFL is scripted. And with Kevin Tauchi, I talked about this with Kevin Tauchi years ago. I kind of put on my tin hat from time to time, and I feel like sometimes the NFL is scripted for us. And I'm going to tell you some reasons why. And if you're all going to follow me, here we go. Not just NFL, all the sports. Sometimes I feel all the sports is fixed. Sometimes I feel like all the sports is controlled by, like, if you're fans of the X-Files and you all remember the cigarette smoking man in the X-Files, and there was an episode where the cigarette man is in a room with all these people, a black room with all these people, and they were controlling everything that was happening in history and everything that was happening in society and entertainment. They were controlling it. They were talking about so-and-so was going to miss this field goal, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about that. And I'm going to break some stuff down for you guys. I'm going to break it down for you so you kind of hear where I'm coming from. Let's start with the Patriots, 9/11. Patriots was one of the crappiest teams in the NFL that season. They were coming off a horrible season. 9/11 happens. One of the planes come out of Boston. Another plane comes out of New York. Week 1 in the NFL was supposed to take place that week. You know who the two teams were? New York and New England Patriots. NFL is pushed back a week so we can kind of get ourselves back on track. Patriots take week 1. Patriots against the Jets. Big thing about 9/11. That year of 9/11, Patriots win the Super Bowl. How uncanny is it that the team that sports America's colors, that was in the garbage can the year before, the team with America's colors goes and wins a Super Bowl after 9/11. Okay? Boston Bomber takes place here in Boston. After the Boston Bomber incident, tell me how many Boston teams pretty much all went to the championships that year. Katrina. Y'all remember Katrina, right? The flood. Remember Katrina? Flooded New Orleans. They had to put people where? They had to put people in the New Orleans Superdome for temporary housing after the floods of Katrina. The Superdome was closed and had to be revamped, redone. After one season, the Superdome was all set. It was open. Who won the Super Bowl that year, people? New Orleans Saints. 1 year out after Katrina. We had a terrible, horrible shooting in Colorado years ago. Horrible shooting. Gentleman went up in a hotel and shot up a ton of people, concert goers. Everything was hurting there in their economy after that shooting. They need to get the economy back up. What happened that year in sports after the shooting? Anybody remember the NHL expansion team that started there and went on a whole tear and almost went to the Stanley Cup and brought business back? And it goes on and on. There's a ton of these in sports that you look at, and some people say, well, it's human emotion. It's the desire to win after tragedy. Is it really? Is it really? Is it really? Because when you look at all the games that are this weekend, you've got the Rams going up against Detroit this weekend. Two quarterbacks that going up against each other this weekend. You've got a possibility of Joe Flacco going up against the Ravens next week. It's amazing what goes on. So I don't know. I just there's so much I can go on, but the thing is it's gonna be tough. Belichick's gonna be a tough one to replace. Nobody's ever gonna live up to the stature of this guy and what he brought to New England and what he did for New England. And it stinks. It stinks it ends like this. It stinks at the fact that this guy had given us 20-something years of 24 years of hilarious, non-emotional press conferences. You can count on one hand that Belichick kind of got emotional. And that was Teddy Bruschi was one time. Sam Gash was the very first time we actually saw Bill Belichick show some type of emotion. If you all remember Sam Gash back in the day, he was the fullback. He gave him praise. There was somebody else that he was very, very fond of, and I forget the names I'm missing. If one of you guys in the chat can remember, but there was another player that he was very fond of. Rodney Harrison was another one. Junior Seau was another one that he spoke highly of when he took his life. So Belichick really didn't give us moments of emotion, but he did today. He did today. And I showed you guys, and he was almost choked up, and it sucked. It sucked that it took us 24 years to almost see this guy cry on the podium. That was just horrible for me as a fan and as a guy who's written about this team, talked about this team. It sucks. It sucks. So he's an older guy. This day was going to come, but I feel like it's more than just the end of a coach. I think it's the end of a culture. I think what we're about to see in sports is horrible. I'm not looking forward to sports in the next 5 to 10 years. So. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're at 7:52. I want to thank everybody for checking out the show tonight. If I see him down, I'm down. I'm down, man. This dude, you have no idea. Me, Mike Jordan, John, Ike Bowman, Marcel Smith, Melissa Litchfield, Jason Cardwell, all these people that, over the years we made the trek to Foxborough as season ticket holders and see these games. Jason, Pat's fan man. Just craziness. Caleb, what's going on? Lisa, what's going on? It's tough. It's a tough swallow, and some of us are gonna feel down. Some of us. It was funny because I wear my Patriots jacket to work, and I'm on the train, and I commute by train, and I got my old Patriots 6 Super Bowl jacket on that my mom gave me before she passed away, and everybody's looking at me like somebody died. I'm walking by people looking at me like they just want to. People are funny. People are funny, and you know what? It is what it is. We knew this day was coming. I wish Bill all the luck in the world. Do I think he's going somewhere else? I don't know. Some people say he's going to Washington. Some people say he's going to the Jets. Some people say he might be going to the Chargers for a front office. I don't know. I think Belichick might just be done. And I say this like I said. I say this because the culture of the NFL has changed. I think wherever Belichick is going to go, it's going to be the same problem for him. Players are not players like we know today. The participation trophy players are now professionals across the world. This is it, people. I don't think you're going to see a successful Bill Belichick. I don't. Because this is the changing of the culture. That's what I wanted to talk about. It's not about discipline no more. It's not about being the hottest worker anymore. It's not about guys staying in the gym till 11 o'clock at night so they can manhandle other teams on the field. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about how many views, how many. Thank you. Yep. Entitlement players are playing. Bingo. Thank you. See? Some of y'all are really getting the real truth here. That's exactly what it's about. The entitlement players are now professionals in the NFL. The days of discipline, the days of hard work is no more. No more. It's not about the hard work. And I talked about this 2 Thanksgivings ago with Justin Jefferson when he did a disservice to the legacy of Madden. And my kids were younger, and they said, I remember my kids saying to me, my kids were saying, it's not that big of a deal, Dad. Yeah, to me, it was. To me, the Justin Jefferson not taking his teeth out to eat the turkey leg on Thanksgiving for John Madden, the year that John Madden died, it is a big deal to me. Because you need to respect John Madden and his legacy and how that whole turkey leg tradition started. Take your grills out your mouth and take a bite of that turkey. This is what we're talking about. This is the culture we are seeing in the NFL. It's not about the team. It's not about the hard work. It's about me and how many views and how many things and clicks and stuff I can get. And what money I can bring to the team by being viral. Because that's all it's about. And it's sad. Belichick going away is sad because that's what this is signaling. It's signaling the end of discipline in sports. Trust and believe me, we are going to see that. And I'm telling you right now, the next head coach of the Patriots, I'm pretty sure the next head coach of the Patriots is going to be someone who relates to your younger crowd than the older crowd. And all of us older people are going to hate him because he's going to be doing the stupid, foolish, whoever it is going to be doing the foolish stuff. You'll see. The days are over. The days of discipline is done. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's a good show. But it's the end of an era. It's an end of a culture. Patriot way is done. It doesn't work. Not with what we have as today's players. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. all y'all for the hats and shirts and things that you supported me with. I want to thank you so much for helping me out. There you go. Beanies right there. All you guys who support me with the beanies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a lot of stuff coming up. I want to thank all the shows that I produce. Make sure to check out Fubar Studios, Veteran Reinforcement, Homeland Hero Salute. Check out Oscar Mike Radio, Drafting the Circuits, Happy Hour with Lido, Matty C Sports. Don't forget, New England Professional Baseball kicks off here in May. They just signed their first 5 players, I think it was. So you want to check them out. Also, the Remy TV 2024 Influence Awards take place on May 18th, 2024. Vianna Marie is nominated for Best Female Hip Hop Artist. And don't forget, Bat Buses, you ride them for free from December 1st to May 31st, which is the week of Memorial Day. And I've been riding free. So I take my chance. And hey, there's only a few NFL games left. Head on down to Platinum City Gaming. Get your free wings, 75-cent wings, every game, every NFL game. And like I said, there's not many of those left. So again, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show, hanging out with me. And it's been good. It's been a good time. Good stuff. I got to get out of here. Got to go eat some dinner. And I'm going to go watch Echo. But again, Bill Belichick, 24 years. That's for you, Bill. That's for you, Bill. That's for you, Bill. Thank you, Bill. Also, big ups to Tom Curran. He took a lot of crap from people. I didn't chime in on any of that stuff. I didn't want to really say anything until we knew this was going to be definite. But Tom Curran nailed it after the Indianapolis loss. He said Bill Belichick was a wrap. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in, hanging out with us. It's good stuff. 8 o'clock. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take Belichick home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinista1 production hosted by Sinista1.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine, but your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, keep this shit on repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get home and I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.